Hey guys, today's Monday, back at school, unfortunately. So this week we're going to, we had to watch a movie and review it. So on Thursday with my mother, I watched Black Hawk Down. So I'm going to review that. So the basic plot of the movie is, it was in like the 19 somethings, and US is helping, well, there's a civil war going on in Somalia, and the US goes in to try and stop one of the rebel leaders who's like using food as a weapon and like controlling his country. So the US goes in, and basically the plot of this movie is it's following there's like one group of people, and they have to go in and they're trying to get some hostages who are like below this one main leader to like get him to stop or whatever. Basically what happens is they're trying to go in, and they have people on in Humvees, and then they have Little Birds and Blackhawks, and one of the Blackhawks helicopters goes down, and so they have to, and apparently like the saying is like no man left behind, so they have to go back and save these guys who may not be alive. So they have to risk like a whole bunch of lives to go back through these like thousands of Somalians who are fighting in these streets to go save these guys. And so what ends up happening is that another helicopter goes down, so two helicopters are down. So they have to go back to both helicopters, even though they're already stretched thin and people are dying, and it's like the whole town against not that many of the American military. And it's Army, by the way. Army Rangers. The acting was pretty good. There was at least 12 non-American actors in this movie, which I found very surprising because it's an American war movie, and normally American war movies are all about America. So I really was happy that they had non-American actors. And yeah, they were good actors. They're famous now, but back in 2001 they were not famous, so it was interesting to see how many of those actors in that movie became really big later on. Yeah, it was good acting. I enjoyed the acting. Unfortunately, it was short. It was like, it's a movie, so it's short enough that, and there's so much action in it, that you only get a couple scenes of downtime, which I think is really important in war movies, because a lot of war is just downtime and hanging around. But unfortunately, because it is an American movie, there was not much downtime. It was mostly just action, which is disappointing. But the downtime that they showed a little bit, some of it was good. Some of it was just like really cheesy and really stereotypical military, like whatever. So I think I would watch it again, actually, because I wasn't really paying attention that well, because as I said before, I don't really like American war movies, so I wasn't actually expecting that much to come out of it. But I think I would watch it again because it got better later on. At the beginning it was terrible, but it got a lot better. The characters, like because there were so many characters, they didn't have any time to develop really any of them, and they kind of wanted you to form an emotional connection with the characters, but it never happened because there was not many down scenes. It was all go, go, go. So, I mean, you formed a little bit of connections with like very few of the characters, but since there were so many, it was so hard to keep track of who was who. And at one point, we kept seeing this guy, and we kept thinking he was dead, but then he would like come back. We're like, we thought you had just died over there, and I don't know, it was a little bit confusing. But yeah, the characters were okay. Some of them were funny. Some of them were just like they just really fell flat. But that's how it is. So it was pretty sad. I think one of the successful parts of the movie was they made you, like, they portrayed well the like how many Americans it was versus how many Somalians, because there were a lot of scenes when you would see the Americans, like the 5 Americans versus like a group of 1,000 Somalians like walking towards them. So they portrayed that really well. I think that was like the best part of the movie, was like the shocking factor of how many, like in reality, how many of Americans were fighting the whole town, that whole town. Yes. I'm sorry, this is really terrible. This is my first movie review and I wasn't the best. Yeah, definitely I would watch it again just so I could see the ending again, because that was enjoyable. I mean, enjoyable in the sense that it was terrible, like, because people were dying, but enjoyable in the sense that it was well done. The beginning was lacking. And I know that sometimes, like, you have movies that are, like, slow and then they reach a pinnacle or the climax and it's, like, really, like, intense. But this movie just did the slow parts very terribly. But, yeah, overall, I would rate it, like, a 6.5 out of 10. So, yay! Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing everyone else's video this week. And I'm looking forward to school being done. Alright, bye!